So this is the exact opposite of an RV buy, where you buy an RV, you drive it off the lot, it all falls apart, and then you wait in line to bring it back in a couple of years, and they will refuse warranty.
Yeah,
This is the exact opposite of that.
you said it, not me.
Okay.
But yes,
Hi everyone, welcome back to my next video. I am in an unusual place. I am at Wasatch Overland in Salt Lake City. Real easy to get to here in Salt Lake City.
yeah,
Sometimes I hate driving big cities, but this is easy.
right off the freeway.
Right off the freeway.
We make it easy for people to find us.
You gotta.
Yeah.
And this is Aiden. Hi, Aiden.
Hey,
And you're giving me a tour, the grand tour. I've looked around and seen it, and I'm super, super impressed.
thank you.
There are a lot of folks out there who
Yeah.
write me and say, I want to do a build, I want a high top, what vans should I buy? And I don't have really anyone I recommend.
Okay.
And I'm looking for someone to recommend. And after having been through here and knowing quite a few people who have gone through you, I'm going to highly recommend you.
Awesome.
And so what all will you do here?
So we will do simple high top installs. So if someone has a Chevy Express or a Ford Econoline E-Series 150, 250, 350, as long as it's 1992 and newer, they can come in here at 8 o'clock in the morning. Within a few hours, we can put a high top onto their van. We can add fans, we can add windows, solar panel, all of those types of things we can install while we do the high top. And then furthermore, if someone wants to go more in depth with a build, they can bring us a completely empty van or even one that's been built out by another builder. We can strip it back completely and start a full interior build built to their specifications in terms of cabinetry, electronics. We always had the high tops to them. And so we really cater to the Econoline or the Chevy Expresses. We do build other vans, but we're best known for the Econolines and the Chevy Expresses.
In fact, you've got a couple of VWs here that
We
you
do.
have put on.
Yeah, so we do Volkswagen tops for the Vanagons. We don't do as many of those. And we've done quite a few interiors for them. Mostly after this Express, I think we're Econolines for the next 6 months, I want to say, for interior builds. High tops, every single day, it's either a Chevy or a Ford that we're putting a high top on.
And so the high tops are your bread and butter.
They
You're
are,
doing a
yeah.
lot of those.
Yeah.
So they're expensive. You know, we
Yep.
don't, we want people to have an idea of what we're talking about.
Yeah.
So if I've just got a plain Jane Econoline or Chevy, I call you and say, I just want a simple high top installed, about what that's going to be.
So it's going to be about $6,500. That includes the install. That's the out of the door price.
Drive in and out.
So that's $6,500 for a Ford regular length like we've got here. That includes wooden reinforcement on the inside. That includes the installation, and then it also has a lifetime seal warranty from us. So if ever there was an issue, which never happens, they would bring it back to us. We would take care of it and totally look after the client. On the top end, if someone wanted a Chevy Express extended, they run about $1,000 more than that.
Sure, that's a big rig.
It's a bigger vehicle. Got the truck turning up with more products.
We're in a working shop here, folks.
Yeah.
You're going to hear some noises.
So I'm guessing it's probably FedEx dropping off more air conditioners or something along those lines, because we can add air conditioners to the tops, just all kinds.
Yeah, and I've walked around with you, and man, you're putting in top quality, amazing, amazing work. You've got CDC machines, and everything is cut out. There is no, I was looking at your shop, and you got a bunch of tape, got some tape measures there, and I bet you never use a tape measure.
Not frequently. I keep one on my belt, usually for when we're shipping products, because it's good to have, the shipping dimensions. But most of what we do really is all 3D scanned and then CNC machined. And then during the final install of cabinets, we'll just make sure everything's square with the tape measures. But for the most part, everything is completely rendered in a virtual environment, which gives us ridiculous precision.
Ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's a very, very high-tech shop. So when you get something, when you drive away, it fits together well.
Exactly. And one of the most important things is squeaks. We make sure that nothing squeaks. And I can show you some of the building techniques and products that we use to make sure that every van interior that leaves here, we also pre-test them, but make sure that there's no weird little squeaks or creaks from the wood being put together. The way we build our cabinets is very different to buying a cabinet from IKEA that's designed for a house that's stationary. You know, ours are designed to go 70 miles an hour down a washboard road and not fall to pieces. And so when we put our cabinets and interior builds into the wild, we prepare them for the worst. So it really is mission critical components every single time, because failure is like not an option. We have clients, Arctic Circle, Baja, everywhere in between, internationally, and we just want to make sure that their cabinets, their interiors are functioning as they imagined it would be.
Well, that makes me think of where you're getting your high tops from,
Yeah.
and your fiberglass. Everything is from Canada.
Yeah.
And we're going to look at a camper you sell, a fiberglass camper, and they're coming from Tufport, and they're in Canada.
Yeah, so Tufport has been making fiberglass products since the 60s. A lot of the real old conversion vans all used to have Tufport high tops. And then more importantly and more recently, they make the MTC, which is the medical transportation unit. It's like an ambulance on a truck. And so the quality of the fiberglass, you know, you've got 50, 60 years of experience in fiberglass production, but then it's designed in such a way that, again, it's mission critical, especially in the MTCs, which are mobile ambulance units. And that trickles over even into our high tops. You can see the quality of them, where the gel coat is just perfect every single time. The thickness is linear throughout. It's not thick in one area, thin in another. And you end up with a product that we can install in 3 hours because we know that it fits every single time.
As you know, I'm from Alaska. I've lived in Alaska all my life, and I've driven through Canada a dozen times. It's just something you do when you live in Alaska. And as the oil exploration boomed in especially Alberta, there'd be remote camps all over, and in every remote camp, and so you see them on the roads all the time, I think they're mostly Tufports.
They usually are, yeah.
And these 1-ton, usually really beefed up trucks with these Tufports, and they're ambulances.
Yeah.
And they're required by law that every remote camp has an ambulance, and so that's what you're buying when you come here.
Yep, exactly. It's the experience of making those, like the Canadian Red Cross use them and all of those companies, and they're all tested, crush tested, rollover tested, and all of that technology trickles into the high tops.
You're buying the highest quality product handled in the highest quality possible way.
Yeah, and then we install them to our highest quality standards so that the end user doesn't leave here with a subpar product.
So this is the exact opposite of an RV buy, where you buy an RV, you drive it off the lot, it all falls apart, and then you wait in line to bring it back in a couple of years, and they will refuse warranty.
Yeah.
This is the exact opposite of that.
You said it, not me.
Okay.
But yes. Yeah, and usually it works out at a fraction of the cost, and you get exactly what you want down to the material finishes and the size of the electronics or the water systems, as opposed to just buying an off-the-shelf item. Because we don't, when it comes to interiors, we don't have package A, B, and C. We have guidelines, and then everything is perfectly dialed into the end user. We've always had this ethos that every person is different, so then every build should be different for that, because what works for you won't work for me. So we're working on van build number 72 right now, and within 72 van builds over the course of the last 5 or however many years, we've never used the same CNC cut file twice. So every single van has got something a little different to it.
So it's completely custom.
Yeah.
Whatever you want. You know, you can think of some oddball things, and if it's possible, you'll do it.
Yeah.
And it's overlanding, so you do put an emphasis on a lot of four-wheel drive vans with the big bumpers and the winches and all of that.
Exactly.
So that's your orientation.
Yeah. Yeah.
But if I'm mom and pop and I just want to build, you're going to do that too.
Exactly. And we do a lot of those. It just so happens recently we've had a lot of 4x4 vans coming through. But yeah, we've done older couples or young couples that are looking to get a 4x4 conversion further down the line, but they want to get a feel for what that's like, you know, doing the RV camping. We have some full-timers that we've built full interiors for. So a full spectrum of weekenders, full-timers, some people just a high top, other people full interiors, bumpers, hot and cold water, air conditioning. We can go all levels.
All levels, right.
Yeah.
And so whatever you can afford and pay top dollar for top quality, you can do it here, even at the lower end of the level.
Correct, yeah.
And so if someone out there's heard all the details and thought, what a great idea, I can do that, how do they get hold of you?
So simple phone call. That's the main thing, is we answer the phone on every single call. 801-899-7840. They can email us at info@wasatch-overland.com. Head to our website. All of the contact details are there. We pride ourselves on highest quality of customer service, so we answer the phone, we reply to every single email.
I noticed on your website that you have $1,000 off right now
We
on a high
do.
top. Is
We
that
do.
pretty consistent?
No, so that is what we call our fuel and food discount. And so certain times throughout the year, we will run that promotion depending on what time zone you're in. So if you're driving to us from New York, you'll get $1,000 off. If you're coming to us from California, you'll get $500 off. If you're coming to us from Utah, you're not driving so far, but you'll still get $300 off. And so it's time zone dependent.
Specific.
Yeah. And in theory, it's supposed to expire at the end of this month. We might push it through April, especially if your viewers are watching that. We might push it an extra month, but we take that money just straight off. So this guy, he was from New Mexico, and I think he just gets $300 off straight off the bat, which is going to bring his cost down for that top to 6,200.
Nice.
Yeah. And
Nice.
so if someone drives in from this guy from North Carolina or South Carolina, he got $1,000 off the price of his high top, because that's a long way to drive. Fuel prices are arrogant right now. And so if we can help just a little bit, then we will.
A lot of these shops, there is a long, long wait line.
Yeah.
And how does that work for you? How long of a wait if someone's interested right now?
So for high tops, usually we're booked out 3 to 4 months. So we get a certain amount in per month. They're all pre-sold. And so we're booking out right now. We're at the end of March. We're booking out for June installs. That's on high tops. If someone came to us and wanted a heater, we could do that kind of installation probably around June as well. If someone wanted a full interior build, usually we're booked out 6 to 7 months. Right now, I think we're in the middle of October for a full interior build. High top's pretty simple. We take 50% deposit. That gets your high top into production with your name on it. We store it until you are ready for the install. And then even if that's 6 months down the line, if you want to make the most of that sale right now, but you can't get here until December, we'll hold on to that top for you.
Okay.
And then interior builds, we take a small deposit that reserves the build slot for you. And then as we get closer, we take a second deposit, which is kind of a bigger chunk. And then at the end of the build, then we take the balance. Nice. Interior builds start, very starting point is about 40,000.
Which is not expensive, really.
No, and that's red arc electrical system, water, sleeping, a galley, heater, and a high top on an Econoline or a Chevy Express.
You would put the high top on included in that?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And that's a pretty basic build, small electrical, small water system. But what tends to happen is people will start there and then start adding things, and before you know it, it's a significant build.
Yeah.
But we can, do a build starting at 40,000.
So if I'm out there and I have found a really good Chevy or Econoline, the Chevy, of course, are still being made, and so you can get one fairly new. Say I get it for 20 grand, and it's, I got a steel on it. It's really going to run reliably for a long, long time. For 40 grand more, it's a low top I've bought, and for 40 grand, roughly, we're not giving exact numbers. I can come in, get a high top and a functional build.
Correct.
So I will have put in 60,000.
Yeah.
Wow. And then from there, I can spend all I want.
Exactly. Yeah.
And I can't go buy a new van for 60, I don't think.
No, you cannot.
You cannot.
No, and it's priced accordingly so that someone that was to buy a Transit or a Sprinter, it makes more sense for them to buy an Econoline or a Chevy Express. And we've got an Econoline out there that the electrician, he paid $1,000 for it. It's a V10. It's got 300,000 miles. The thing just keeps going.
Yeah.
Start with $1,000 van. And so you can put a high top on $1,000 van, and for $7,000, $8,000 at that point, you can put a cot in the back and try it out for a year before you commit to having us do a full interior.
Right.
And a lot of people do that. They'll think, this is what I want. They'll put a cot in there. Then they'll be like, actually, I really needed X, Y, or Z. And then we'll start talking about a build. So we don't immediately just say, hey, you need this. We say, we'll put a top on for you. Head out, go and use it for a year. Reach back out to me when you're ready to spend the money on the right product and tell us what works for you.
And for the guy with a $1,000 van, if he then goes ahead and drops in a new crate motor and a new crate transmission,
Yep.
he's gotten essentially, and there's a lot of other things that are failing at 300,000 miles,
Yep.
and he's going to be fixing them for a long time.
Yeah.
But he's saved so much money over a new Sprinter or
Correct.
Ram or
Yeah.
Transit.
And then he'll also, and this is one thing that we kind of talk about when people are asking us, why should I go with an Econoline over a Mercedes Sprinter? If you're in Moab and something fails on your Econoline, you go to Joe Blow's shop.
Everybody.
He's probably got the parts. If not, he can steal them off a truck in the back.
Right.
If your brake pads go out in a Mercedes Sprinter, you're going to go into limp mode and you're going to have to get 300 miles to the nearest Mercedes dealership for them to charge you an arm and a leg to reprogram your computer to say that, you know, you've had new brake pads. Whereas the Econolines and the Chevy Expresses, it's a cheaper cost to get into the vehicle, and then maintenance, yes, it's higher mileage, but even when you consider a complete crate motor installed by a Ford dealership across the way here is $6,500.
That's just incredible.
With a 3-year, 30,000-mile warranty.
And a crate motor means it's Ford factory.
Ford factory, literally
Brand new.
comes in a crate. And the dealership across the way here, the last one they did for one of our clients was, I think it was 7,000. That was for a 0-mile engine installed.
Full factory warranty.
Yeah.
Oh my, yeah. So that's what a great idea that is. You've got the van, the engine's getting worn out. Bring it here, new motor, whole new build.
Yeah.
It's hard to say 60,000 to say 70,000 is cheap, but in today's world it is.
It is. And then we're fortunate that 2 blocks up the road is Advanced 4x4. And they've been doing 4x4 conversions since the 50s. And they started by doing 4x4 conversions on 2-wheel drive trucks. Well, now they do them on Econolines and Expresses for Yellowstone and all of those guys. So you could bring here a Beta van. We could put, or have the Ford dealership put a new engine in. We put a new Hightop. Then it goes to Advanced 4x4. They go through all of your drivetrain because they're going to be pulling your transmission out anyway. All new ball joints, leaf springs, all of that. By the time you're done, you've got, other than the shell of the van, virtually everything is brand new.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. And you're still under 100 grand. I don't
Yes.
know what a 4x conversion
so
costs.
their runs about 14,000.
Oh, that's cheap.
Yeah.
That's really cheap.
And that's all Dynatrack front axle, re-geared. It's got a Borg Warner transfer case. They shorten the fuel. I mean, it's a full get-up.
Right. So for well under 100 grand, you've got just an ideal overlanding vehicle.
Yeah.
Extremely reliable, brand new engine, brand new drivetrain. Aiden, thank you so much for telling us all about Wasatch.
Yeah.
Now we're going to go take a look around and you're going to show us all the details. But folks, rather than just have this be a really long video, I'm going to break it into 2. So we'll do the shop tour. You'll see all the details. So folks, I hope you've been impressed and gotten some ideas. At least it's made you daydream and plan for the future. You know, these are prices that if you start saving, if you can save $100 a month, $200 a month, you can eventually afford a new Hightop on your rig. And so your life can get dramatically better. If you got anything out of this video, like us on YouTube, subscribe to the channel, hit that thumbs up button, and we'll see you on the next video. Bye now.